All right, what's up, guys? So today we are going to be changing a drain pump for this front load Whirlpool washer. This one is fairly easy to change out. The only thing that is annoying is that it is located at the very bottom of the washer, so you would have to tilt it back and work on it like that. Just be sure you have like a shop vac, because if you're replacing a drain pump, 9 times out of 10 it's because it's not draining and it'll have water in there, so you don't want to make a big mess. So really, after you tilt it on its back, just be sure you take out those 1/4-inch screws on that panel where my light is attached to. It has like 2 1/4-inch screws and the panel will come right down. So right there, all I'm doing really is just draining out all the water, because personally me, I don't like to make a mess when I'm working, because I know at the very end I'm just gonna have to deal with it before I leave, and I don't want to. So after you drain out most of the water, just be sure that you look at what you're going to replace, and be sure you remember to take a picture of it before you start taking parts out, just so you can have a point of reference to be able to basically backtrack your steps and install the new piece. So this one just only has one connector, and I believe about 4 to 5 screws, and I think they are all 5/16. Excuse me. So just like I said, just be careful. Also, if you're going to be using a drill, yes, taking them out is the easy part, but when you put the screws back on, be sure that you don't go crazy with your drill and just strip the whole thing out, because the reason why this one you'll see right now, it has like a little gasket right there, that black gasket where it was attached to the tub. That's basically to apply pressure and close any openings. So the reason why it has screws is because it's supposed to apply pressure on that little seal to actually be able to close everything out, so it doesn't cause any sort of leaks. So right there, that's the new drain pump. I'm just showing you the part number. And don't worry, I'll put the part number on the video as well, just so you can look it up if you have this specific drain pump. So so you can see right there, it only has one connector, and just be sure that you align everything back the way that it is. So all you really are doing is basically, pushing it in, applying pressure at first. Well, also, if you could see back there by the little relay, it has a little hook right there where my left hand was. That one right there, I'm pointing to it. So it goes into that little pinhole. Nothing will happen if you don't actually put it into the pinhole, but that's just so it could be straight. So once you put on the drain pump, you are going to feel a little bit of resistance, but that's because that little gasket isn't basically molded onto that frame of the tub. So you do have to apply a little bit of pressure. And look what I'm doing. I'm slowly applying or inserting back the screws one by one. I'm not going crazy and making them tight one by one. No, I'm just basically putting them in place, make sure that everything is aligned right. Because here's the thing, when you're putting something like this, you do have to make sure that everything's aligned right, and you don't want to tighten up one screw all the way, because if you have to shift the part a little bit, you're not going to be able to. So just take your time, screw those things back on carefully. The only reason why I'm using my drills because these screws are pretty long, and going with my ratchet is just a little bit overkill. So I've done this for a while, so I kind of know how to do it and how not to do it. So, but for you guys, first timers, just be careful. So after that, right there you have your drain hose. You're gonna reconnect it back. So all you really need is a 5/16 bit, some pliers, a shop vac, and maybe a headlight or something that can provide some sort of light so you can see what you're doing. But other than that, this is a very, very simple Very simple drain pump to change out. I just don't understand why they made the drain pump so inaccessible to the customer because if you zoom in, you see that it has a filter. So you have to clean that out periodically. It's just that I don't think nobody wants to be tilting their washer maybe once to twice a month to get all the grime out. That's a little bit not ideal, but you know, this is how they made it. So, and the reason why I changed this one out is because obviously one, it wasn't washing, but for this particular washer, it just kept staying on. So I'm assuming that it just kept staying on because it kept detecting that there was still water in there, but it kept staying on, and so it basically was just a stationary. You couldn't really do anything else. You couldn't select anything, nothing. So this is why, but we'll see right now. So this is how far back you have to tilt it up in order to get access to the bottom. So just be careful. And the only and also guys, I wear gloves not because I don't like to get dirty here. No, it's I don't like to leave my fingerprints or marks on any of the washers because that looks really ugly. And you do have to clean that after you're done. So that's the reason why I wear the gloves. So this one, and she had that little board right there. That was a bit frustrating because usually when people have these sort of washer setups, obviously they want to be all decorative and whatnot. But when you start putting like a board all across it, you kind of take away the ability for us to have access to it. So that's just really frustrating. But anyways, you can see right now I'm turning it on. I believe I turned it on for a little bit just so it could fill up with water, just so you guys could see that it is gonna drain. But if I'm not mistaken, if you just fill these up with water and then just press the power button, I think they just end up draining on their own. That's one of their features. Like most front load washers or any type of washer really. Not all of them, but some. When you just turn it off, it just automatically drains out anything that's in there. So right now, yeah, we're going through the little motions. I believe it already has water, or it's about to get water. But when you are about to get to the point of, you know, you're about to, you know, basically be done with the service, especially if you have to do anything with water included, don't push everything back. Just be sure that there's not going to be a leak. So leave everything where it's at, test it out, and that way if there is a small leak, you don't have to pull everything out and basically get back to square one and just start all over. There you can just, you know, lift it back up and see where you might have made a mistake, or it might be, you know, leaking from somewhere. Also with this specific washer, sometimes when that drain pump starts to act up, the door is not going to open up again. And really, it's simple to open it up. You just take the top panel off, and right there where the door is, you'll see the latch, and there'll be a little lever. It's going to be either you pull it down and then pull the door and it'll release it, or you pull it up and then pull the door and then it'll release it. But remember, guys, these videos are just to help you guys out. As I always say, you know, if you're able to do it on your own, you know, you kind of cut costs with, you know, parts, labor, service, because believe me, appliance repair is not cheap, especially if you do not have an insurance to go with it. So, you know, pay attention to these videos. I promise you, these are going to save you a quick buck. This is just really here to help, because all of us have about at least 5 or more appliances in our house. So these videos are going to be useful to you one day or another. And I promise you, you're going to be like, oh, I'm so glad I watched that one video that dude made. So just pay attention, guys. So right there, I'm just kind of doing a little bit overkill, just letting it run more than what it needs to. But after I cancel the load, it just basically ends up, you know, draining itself out. So This was this week's video. Appreciate you guys for watching, but please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Help us get on that algorithm, help us get on that trending page. These are super, super helpful videos, but I really appreciate any small viewer, any view at all. I really, really, really appreciate it, guys. Thank you.